I'm down to 20 minutes left on my prep in 10, so I can upload. As you can see, I've got a boatload of tabs open. I'm trying to upload, I should say, the 7th grade review video. That's what this is going to be. This is, as you can see, I've got the 4 tabs of our 4 sections. Some of you had a hard time making Google Docs and getting your answers on there. And the thing you need to do is make a copy, as you can see in the file menu, because whenever I give you access to something, that is my copy. And so if you put your answers on there, it's going to erase or overwrite my copy. So you need to make your own and then share that back with me if you're doing things digitally. If you're doing things on paper, that's fine. Just take a picture and send that to me. You're tested on Thursday, and I'll let you take it on Friday if you want, but those 2 days need to be done on a Google form that I will send to you. Now, a couple things you need to keep in mind. Number one is that the vocab will be in a drop-down box. So as, temporary, brief, or not lasting is a clue. And so you'll have brief or not lasting as number 5 or whatever. And you just drag down and pick temporary from that answers options. Your attendance question today is going to be in a Google form. That's to keep it private for you, because I'm going to ask you a question on the video today, and your answer is going to be regarding this test, but that's going to count as your attendance, okay? Your test needs to be taken Thursday or Friday. We have some people that are getting these remote take-home lessons and feel like it's just do whenever you feel like. It's not. This is for attendance today, Tuesday, August 25th, watching this video and replying, and then the test is due when the test is due, okay? So the other parts of the test are going to be just like last year. You'll fill in the blank, you'll type it in. The taking it on a computer is new, but the 8th graders that are in class are doing this on their Chromebooks too. So it's not going to be just your remote learners. Everybody in 8th grade is taking this test on Chromebook this week. So number 2, the Missouri Compromise. The only thing I'll say about that is that Missouri becoming a slave state and Maine becoming a free state counts as 1. That doesn't count as 2. Okay, the other one is the 36 degrees, 30 minutes north latitude, no slavery was allowed above there. What new party was formed by those who were upset with slavery? That's the Free Soilers, but that was not the one on the test. Okay, the Republicans are the one on the test. They're later on in section 2, and they are, or 3, I don't remember off the top of my head, and they don't come in until 1854. So that's one. The new party that asked you on the test is the Republicans. So don't get it mixed up with Free Soilers. The main points of the Compromise of 1850, there were basically 5. California became a free state. The Fugitive Slave Act. No slave trade in Washington, D.C. Those are the 3 big ones. Those are the ones I really want you to put. The other 2 are in your book. You can look it up. And if you put those instead of those 3, that's fine too. The election of 1848 is pretty straightforward in your book. I will say this. There is your first test only, chapter 1, there's no essay on this test. Chapter 2 through 12, or however far we get, there will be essays, but not this one. So don't worry about number 6 right now. Okay. Section 2, the system, of course, the Underground Railroad was neither underground nor a railroad, but we talked about that before. The Kansas-Nebraska Act, John Brown. Pleading Kansas, pretty self-explanatory. Again, number 6 is not going to be on the test. There's no essays on this test only. Don't get mixed up. Be clear. Okay. Number 3 is the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which again flies directly in the face with the Missouri Compromise, but we just overwrote the law immediately because, what are you going to do? Okay. Your attendance question. Your attendance question for this video is going to be, how do you feel about the test? So you got to fill out the Google form. Tell me, Mr. Batts, I feel great. I think I'm going to get 100. Mr. Batts, I'm afraid I'm going to fail, or somewhere in between. And if you have any specific questions about this test, feel free to send me those in your Google response, your Google form. The 3 reasons I've been doing Google Forms this time is it gives me a list of who sent the response in, so I have attendance taken already. Number 2 is it gets you used to using Google Forms, so that's going to be your test. And number 3, like I said, it's going to be private. So you don't have to tell everybody, put yourself on blast that, hey, I don't feel like I'm going to pass this test or whatever. This test is going to be your only grade, or at least your biggest grade on the midterm, almost your entire grade, because midterms are due Friday or Wednesday of next week. I'm not sure. The new party is the Republicans. We talked about that. 1856 is the one before Lincoln. So you can see up there on my poster, you can't actually see it. I can. James Buchanan is the one. Okay. Dred Scott. It's going to ask you on the test what was the name of the guy who sued for his freedom. You just got to put Dred Scott. The 2 men who debated, the Lincoln-Douglas debates, the Freeport Doctrines in your book. Again, there are no paragraphs in here. Okay, the Dred Scott case said three things. Don't just put that it said he was still a slave. That is true. It said that, and you could put that, but that's not the only answer. It said some other things about slavery in general and the ability for Americans and Congress to make it illegal. Look that up in your book. The only thing I'm not sure if it's keeping recording as I go between tabs because the red light disappears. So when you see me pausing and starting again, that's why. The only thing I want to talk to you about on the fourth section is number 3. I think it got too confusing with the states that first seceded, because South Carolina was technically first, but then a few other ones were right after them, and so like where do you draw the line? So on the test, I'm just going to ask you to name 5 states that seceded at all, period. And so there's a list of those all over this chapter, but specifically, I think on page 23, I don't have my book in front of me, but there's a map in section 4. And like I said, I think it's on page 22 and 23, but the states are in pink and purples. Any 5 of those states: Florida, Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina, any 5 of those that joined the Confederacy. Okay, the first shots were fired at Fort Sumter. The president of the Confederacy was Jefferson Davis. The candidates in the election you could look up. Of course, Lincoln was the Republicans. He ended up winning. And again, there's no paragraph. So we're at 6 minutes now. Hopefully, like I said, watching this video and answering the question is your attendance for the day. So make sure you put in your Google form that will be attached to your classroom work today that you are answering the question. And the question is just, how do you feel about the test on Thursday or Friday? And again, you could take that on either day if you're a remote learner. The in-class learners have to take that on Thursday. You get a choice, but it needs to be one of those 2 days. I'm not going to be grading these tests next week. You need to get that done, okay? If not, that's fine, but it's makeup work and you'll be counted absent just like you would be if you're in normal school. Okay, any questions, send them me in Google Classroom if you want them made public, or send them in that Google form if you want to just ask me privately and it's about the test and it's appropriate, of course. And we'll be playing the review gaming class tomorrow, so I'll probably just give you a check-in real quick tomorrow, and then your test day will be Thursday, okay? Make sure you're still wearing your mask. Make sure you wash your hands and staying safe out there, and I will talk to you later. Bye.